Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by this time for a trailer analysis video. Don't usually do this, but in this case, I'm so excited for the release of In a Violent Nature 2, and the first teaser trailer just recently appeared, so there's no way I cannot make a video about it. For the record, In a Violent Nature is my favorite, probably my favorite horror movie of the 21st century. Absolutely was blown away by In a Violent Nature in 2024, and I'm so excited for the release of In a Violent Nature 2, and even more so after seeing the first teaser trailer. As we can see, unlike the first film, the In a Violent Nature 2 is actually directed by Nathaniel Wilson. The first one was written and directed by Chris Nash. This one is directed by Nathaniel Wilson and written by Chris Nash, who also serves as a producer. It should be mentioned that the director of the second film, Nathaniel Wilson, as we can see here for credits of the first film, In a Violent Nature, was credited as Nate Wilson, associate producer on the first film, In a Violent Nature. So he was promoted, definitely promoted to the second film, which is interesting. And I'm going to do some, as I said, trailer analysis here. We'll take a look at some stills from the trailer, and I'll just share my thoughts. But before we do that, the premise of In a Violent Nature 2 is, as Johnny commences his violent rampage at a summer camp, an outcasted camper is forced to spend the night with his counselor sister and her friends at their annual end of season party. One of the first shots of the trailer shows Johnny coming out of the woods and stops as he hears a whistle coming from the distance. Now, this whistle is really interesting, and it plays a huge part throughout the course of the entire teaser trailer. It really makes you wonder, from some of the synopsises that I read, like this kid, this outcasted kid, maybe he's bullied, whatever. And the whistle thing, this is just obviously conjecture, but the whistle thing makes me almost wonder if the kid is... he doesn't speak or whatever, and he communicates with the whistle, or he's crying out for help with the whistle or something. But the whistle, if you've seen the teaser trailer, obviously permeates a great amount of the teaser trailer, and it makes you wonder how big of a part. It seems like it plays a relatively big part in the film. So that's just my thought. Is the kid nonverbal, and is the whistle heard in the teaser trailer something that the kid uses? It's, time will tell. We'll find out. As we can see here, this takes place at the after-season party at Camp Pudding Stone. So there you go. This film started filming in September of 2025 in Canada. You can see that, of course, in September and that far north, the leaves are already turning. But, because it's an after summer camp season movie, then it makes perfect sense that things are going to be turning, because it probably takes place in September, possibly whatever. Yeah, in September in the movie, and it was filmed in September, so that's all fine and dandy and lovely. But yeah, Camp Pudding Stone. We can see just a shot of a camp area here, and quote unquote hot chick lingering around. It's probably freezing when they're when they're doing this, and it makes you wonder if anyone ends up in the water. We shall see. Here's some, one of the things about the first film, In a Violent Nature, is that most of the characters, for the most part, the victim characters, are all kind of assholes and jerkwads. So the teaser trailer for In a Violent Nature 2 would indicate that the victims are probably, so far maybe mostly assholes in this one as well. So it follows the tradition of the first film, at least so far that I can see. Of course, just like the first film, you've got to have people sitting around a campfire, just like with the first film. I would imagine this is a fake gas powered campfire, probably. Me being a campfire enthusiast, and I have a whole bazillion of bunches of fires every year if I'm lucky. The fake gas powered fires in the first film and potentially this film are a little bit of annoying, but I mean, obviously it just makes sense to film a movie just to have something that's controllable for to eat, for each shot, and just simple to do or whatever. But anyway, definitely have at least some people sitting around a campfire in the second film, so that's appreciated. This kid, I don't know if this is the outcast kid. We don't know, but this one in the teaser trailer, claims to have seen Johnny. Got some blood on his neck there. He's seen later on in the teaser trailer, talking to some counselor possibly, and maybe this is the outcasted kid. We don't know. If this is the outcasted kid, obviously he can speak, and my whistle theory is completely bullshit. But the whistle thing is probably, whether the person using it can speak or not, it's kind of probably a distress thing, summer camp, whatever, wear a whistle. So if you're in distress and you need help, the whistle. I really think the whistle thing is a really cool touch, and just a really cool touch to add something different to the second movie. So it'll be interesting to see how much the whistle plays in to the movie. Here's the counselor. Maybe this is, you can kind of tell maybe by the both of their eyes, maybe this is supposed to be this older sister of the kid we just saw or something, but this is like a counselor. This is probably the sister that the outcasted camper is forced to spend the after season party with or whatever, kind of talking to the kid about whatever and whatever. As can be seen here, continuing, you can see the blood on his neck. He must have seen someone get killed, or touched a corpse or something like that. As he's this is maybe the kid talking possibly to his older sister, which has forced him to. Is this the outcasted camper? Maybe. The more I'm thinking about it, forced to stay at this after season party by his older sister. This scene, the teaser trailer shows not long after that, Johnny bursts through a window like Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and attack a individual here. So the cool thing about this is, unlike the first film where he kind of picks people off one by one, this is an act where he comes through the window and a whole room full of people react, and it's just like, wow. So this movie really goes there, and it's going to be one of these things where people are going to be running around, scattering like ants, running for their lives. Now, this picture, the screenshot initially made me think there's kids in this movie. I can't tell if these are kids or if the one in the background is the kid with the blood on his neck or not. You see, by the height of these two individuals, they seem more like kids around the age of 10, 11, 12 something, but I can't tell if that's the kid with the blood on his neck or not. But briefly, we can see a couple young kids or whatever running for their lives. Familiar shot from the first film, obviously a shot of Johnny walking from the rear. Not crazy about the kind of the blurred out background in this particular situation, but this is a shot that is very familiar. And I'm kind of thinking, based on the teaser trailer, that they maybe, I would imagine they're not going to do so much walking, and it looks like it's very possible we're going to see a little more of the other side of what's going on with the victims. Maybe it'll be more of a balanced situation where half of it's Johnny, half of it's what's going on with the characters and the potential victims. We shall see. But the minute-long teaser trailer would indicate that it's possibly going to be more of a 50-50 mix of what's going on with the victim characters and what's going on with Johnny, cutting back and forth. As we can see here, camp lit by lights on poles as a female character goes running in terror. We got some kill by the campfire scene here with the victim on his front on the ground, probably just about to get it. Took a screenshot of this because it looks like he, this is conjecture, might very well die by a fire poker at the fire. He dies by some kind of implement there, I would imagine. Possible fire poker, who the hell knows. But incidentally, the sparks in the background rising from the fire there would actually indicate in this instance that this might be an actual fire, a wood fire. Because if you have a gas fire, you're not going to have, a bunch of sparks coming off, the wood or whatever. So maybe this is a real fire in this instance. Who the hell knows? But yeah, I'm a campfire enthusiast, so I pay attention. This is an interesting bit going on here where it's Johnny walking onto the dock. I don't know if people are making out, making love on the boat or whatever, but as we can see in the teaser trailer, Johnny makes his way out onto the dock and does use a boating implement later on. This I found particularly interesting because I'm a huge fan of Christmas lights, and I absolutely love, being shot digitally. You can tell that this is more or less lit by these Christmas lights on the cabin. I think this shot is absolutely beautiful, and it's kind of like, well, Christmas lights, colored Christmas lights in September. What are we doing? But I'm not going to complain. I mean, the mixture of like a summer camp cabin and colored Christmas lights. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful shot. And if I was doing this movie and I did this shot, I mean, it'd look exactly the same. This is very, very interesting, and it's like, okay, colored Christmas lights in September at summer camp, but I'm not going to complain. I'm really, really excited just to see the ambience and the atmosphere of what this summer camp location, is going to be like. Here's a shot of something that we've seen in Italian horror movies and things before. Looks like there's some possibly dead people or near dead people in the boat there, and Johnny's going to possibly finish him off with a propeller there from a outboard boat motor. That'll be lovely. We can see here near the end of the trailer, Johnny, this guy, I don't know if this is some kind of ATV or some kind of, all-terrain vehicle thing like that, as, was also featured in the first film. Johnny's got his famous, I wondered whether or not he'd have his chain and his hooks in this one. Apparently he does, as he approaches this individual and presumably hooks him. Towards the end of the trailer, we see what happens with that. This is a really cool shot of just Johnny walking into the campgrounds or walking around the campgrounds. That's featured towards the end of the teaser trailer. This is something kind of that I want to talk about a little bit. At the end of the teaser trailer, the ATV is pulling away, and it looks like the guy's hooked, and Johnny yanks him off the ATV. Well, if you look at it over and over, which of course I've done, this is like one of the more fakey ass parts of the teaser trailer. You can kind of see that clearly, for safety or whatever, the guy is kind of rolls off himself, and I think the guy playing Johnny is kind of like, okay, well, when I see him rolling off, then I'll yank it and pretend like I yanked him off. But admittedly, I think that this instance here of a couple seconds of this guy being yanked off the ATV is maybe a little fakey in that respect, but I want people to be safe and not get injured making these movies, so we'll let it slide. One of the last shots here is obviously inside a cabin. Johnny has some kind of sharp implement and he swipes it, and then we hear a big... The last shot here is a familiar shot. I hope there's enough of this in the movie because, I, for one, didn't have a problem with the walking. It's just so beautiful, environments and stuff. I didn't have a problem with the walking in the first movie, so it's nice to see some of the famous, following him following behind Johnny walking at the end of this teaser trailer. In a Violent Nature 2 in a really bold red font here. I really love that. And part of me was like, should this have been In a Violent Nature Part 2, like Friday the 13th, Part 2, Part 3, Part 5, Part 6, Part 7, Part 8. I'm still torn, would it be better off In a Violent Nature Part 2 or In a Violent Nature 2? I mean, I guess it would work either way, and maybe they're right in just simply saying In a Violent Nature 2. But very excited. There's no word as of yet when it's being released. I would expect, maybe June or July or August or something. All I can say is it can't come soon enough. I am so excited for In a Violent Nature 2. I heard that, they're going to start filming, at the end of last summer, I knew, they said they were going to start shooting in September. And then, all winter until, right around this time of year, the end of February 2026, I never heard anything. I didn't know if it even happened. As the months went on, there were just a little bits and pieces on IMDb of, like 1, 2, 3 cast members being added. And I was like, is this did this happen? Is it going to be filmed this summer? Like, I didn't know, and I was just delighted to find out it had been completed last year and it's in post production. So this is, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm very, 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 very excited for this movie. Having seen this teaser trailer, please feel free to let me know what you think, and feel free to check out my 3D printed Johnny Bust video that I made recently. Guess that pretty much does it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, we'll catch you on the next video.